Okay, so today I am on the Senada Herald Plus electric bike. This bike comes in two different colors. It comes in white like I have here, but then also a black color. And the design is very tastefully done, very nice looking bike with the way the frame kind of is designed, the way it bends at the right angles. And also I love the little logos around the bike with these little orange accents that add a nice little touch to this bike. The overall assembly was very easy. It took me around like 45 minutes or so. You got to put on the pedals, got to put on the rear rack. And speaking of the rear rack can support up to 55 pounds, and overall the bike can support up to 330 pounds. So that's going to be rider weight and also what you have on the rear rack. And then you do have a mounting kind of point on the front for a front basket or a front rack that you can buy separately. I'm not sure if the company sells them on their websites, but you can always get them from Amazon or somewhere else. Now the cable management up front isn't bad. It could use a couple of extra zip ties by default to have the cables just be a little bit more tidy up front. You can always do that yourself, but that is something that I would like to see. And the handlebar grips on this bike are nice, but the handlebars do feel a little cramped. You do have a really big LCD display here. It's not color, it's just going to be black and white. Gives you all of that relevant information, speed, your distance, and also the pedal assist level that you're in, things like that. But me adding like a phone rack on here and also just another mount for my camera, it's already a little bit cramped. So just a little bit more space would be welcome.
And also on the display, you will find a USB type A port, which is convenient to be able to charge your phone while you are riding.
Now on the right hand side of the handlebars, you will find your half twist throttle and also the controls for the Shimano 7-speed shifter. And this bike does have the very standard Shimano derailleur on this bike. It works very well going up and down those levels when you are going up and down hills and stuff. But on the left hand side of the handlebars, you will find the controls that will control the display, and also you can press down on that down button to enter this bike into walkie mode. So if you want to walk alongside of it, it will make it a little bit easier for you. Next to those controls, you will find the controls for the turn signals that are built into the rear brake light. So this brake light is nice and bright, but my gripe, like you hear me say a lot, is that the turn signals don't make any type of sound when you do have them activated. So you have to remember to turn them off, and you also don't get any type of like indicator on this particular display. So I would like to see that improved in the future, but you also below that do have a button for the electronic horn. Yeah, nice and loud. But also for this price, you're getting an 1,000-watt motor that's in the rear. So it's a rear hub motor, and it peaks out at 1,200 watts. So most bikes around this price range come with a 750-watt motor, but you're getting 1,000 watts, and this bike does pick up and go. And you'll see this in my speed test here in just a little bit, but I really do love the power of this bike. Nice acceleration, really good power to feel like you can keep up with traffic and stuff when you are on the road. All right, so now let's go ahead and knock out the speed test here. So starting with my first test, just using the half twist throttle only, and 3, 2, 1, boom. And so again, this motor does come in at 1,000 watts, peaks at 1,200 watts, and we are zooming, baby. We are already at 21 miles per hour, 23, 25, 26, 27, 29. Oh yeah, 29.7, and I'm coming up here next to the wall. I'm gonna go inside of it. I hit 30, so that is good. 30.8, and we're holding steady at 30.8. And this is according to the bike's display. I did do a speed test a little bit earlier, and my GPS app on my phone was probably like, around 2 miles per hour slower than what I saw on the bike's display. But no matter what, still being able to get up to 28 to 30 miles per hour on this bike is super, super good, especially for the price tag. Like, they're really knocking it out of the park for the price of this bike. Okay, so same test, but using pedal assist, getting my leg workout in today. So anyway, 3, 2, 1, boom, and we are off. And this is a cadence sensor, and this thing does really get you off of the starting line here. I'm already at 20 miles per hour, not even working too hard. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and 30 miles per hour. Good gracious. All right, so let's go ahead and slow down here. I don't need to go any further. I felt my phone kind of slipping out of my pocket. But anyway, that is really good. Now, I wasn't even trying that hard. I'm only in gear 5, and I was able to get up to 30 miles per hour on this thing. This bike wants to move. This bike is hungry for speed. All right, so I'm about to go down the hill that I'm about to do my hill test on, and while I'm doing this, let's test out the brakes a little bit more. Oh yeah, really good braking power. Very steep hill. And another test, and we got some sand and some dirt right here. Still pretty good. So all right, so let's turn around here so I can do my hill test. And we're gonna start just doing this with the throttle only. So from a complete dead stop, 3, 2, 1, boom. And this is a very steep hill. Hopefully you can see it. But this bike does have 95 Newton meters of torque. And we're already at 10, 11, 12 miles per hour, according to the bike's display. 14.8, 15.1, 15.4. Wow, that's pretty impressive. Most e-bikes around this type of like category usually only get around like 12 miles per hour. So that's actually pretty impressive to zoom me up that hill with all my weight and also this camera backpack. So I'm very happy with that. All right, so now I'm going over some cobblestone here, and this bike only does have front suspension. So no rear suspension, nothing underneath the seat, nothing like that. So I wish it did have dual suspension. That would really make this bike a dual threat for going off-road and stuff. But even for this, like going on some grass and stuff, this bike doesn't feel too uncomfortable with the front suspension. Again, you can lock the front suspension out if you're trying to get like maximum speed, but when you're going over bumps and stuff like that, you definitely want to unlock it. But because this motor is like super powerful, I'm able to get up these grassy hills like this and then transition over to the bike path here. And yeah, it feels really, really, really good. So I can split the gap there. All right, I did it. So yeah, this bike does have 26 by 4-inch fat tires, so some big old tires, and they do help make you feel like you're floating a little bit. And I love just the riding position of this bike. I am sitting up, you know, a little bit higher, especially with the adjustable seat that you can adjust. So I got the seat right around my waist level, and with these big tires and also the position of the handlebars, I feel very, very comfortable on this bike, but also I feel like in control. So I'm really liking it, and yeah, we're just zooming through this stuff. This motor is really nice. Now, one thing I did notice there is that when the pedals are at the lowest level, they do sit kind of low, so I was kind of brushing on the top of the grass there. So that would be something that I would be more aware of, especially if you are taking this bike off-road and stuff. All right, so another gap here. All right, we made it through. So the handling of this bike is very nice. Right? I'm kind of zigzagging down this thing here, and let me jump off of this curb. All right, not too bad. Now this bike does have a step through aspect to it, meaning that you can kind of slide or swing your leg in between the middle of the frame of the bike. And one thing I also just noticed while looking down at this bike is that it doesn't have any type of pre-drilled mounting holes for like mounting like a water bottle bracket or anything like that on the frame of the bike. Now, because the middle of the frame of the bike is split up into two different sections, you can, you know, attach something that can strap and tighten down onto that. But I would like to see some pre-drilled holes to make it very easy to add like a bike lock or a water bottle. Now, the pedaling on this bike is very comfortable because you do have this adjustable seat, and also just the way this bike is situated. So I'm very happy with the pedaling. My knees aren't coming up like super high or anything like that. And as far as the recommended rider height, this bike is recommended for people between 5'5" and 6'6". All right, so now let's talk about battery life, range, and all of that good stuff. So this bike does come with a 48 volt, 21 amp hour battery that is rated to get you up to 80 miles as far as the range. So that's a pretty good long distance. Now, I say this all the time, the range is going to be dependent on how much you weigh, how much stuff you have attached to the bike, if you're on a bunch of hilly terrain, things like that. Now, the battery itself is removable, so you do get 2 keys that come with this bike. You only need one to be able to unlock the battery, and then now you can take it inside to charge it. But you can also just leave the battery on the bike itself and then charge it that way. Now, this bike does have a kind of a unique way that the battery does slide in and out of it. It does slide like parallel from the bike. So just make sure you do hear that click when you do insert the battery to make sure it is going to be seated properly.
All right, so now let's talk price. So this 1,000-watt version does come in at $18.99, but at the time of this video, they do have a sale where it's going for $11.99, but you can also get this in a 750-watt motor version. That normal price is $16.99, but right now it's on sale for $10.99. But no matter what, check out the link in the description of this video for the latest price. It might be an affiliate link, and if it is, it does help support this channel.
I really love the power and speed for this price point. It feels really good, really great design, build quality, went together very easily. It's also rated IP64 as well for water resistance. I didn't mention that before, so if you get caught in the rain, it'll be fine. But I can say that this Herald Plus is going on my list of favorite e-bikes right now for the price and performance that you get get for people who are looking to buy a bike but not break the bank, but they still want to make sure that they do have some really good performance. But anyway, let me know what you think about this bike by leaving a comment down below. And like always, I do want to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace.